Northerners should reject Atiku for opposing Sharia rule in Nigeria, Kashim Shettima. Wow. So this is the kind of person Kashim Shettima is. Okay. So APC is beginning to show their color. This is the reason they are fighting for Tinubu. Only God knows what agreement these people have signed with Tinubu to support him to be president, to give them what they want, especially this Fulanization, Islamization, and Sharia rule in Nigeria. Now, Shettima, the vice presidential candidate to Bola Ahmed Tinubu in APC, is now encouraging the North to reject Atiku for opposing Sharia rule in Nigeria. Can you imagine? And Atiku too, I don't trust him because he might do that on the face value. By the time he gets there, only God knows what he will do. He's most likely also going to be a tyrant. This is Shettima real color coming out. This is the Tinubu APC agenda, real agenda coming up. Let's see what they have to say. All Progressive Congress Vice Presidential candidate Kashim Shettima says Northerners should ditch Atiku Abubakar for his opposition to the enactment of Sharia rule across the region. Can you imagine? Addressing party faithful at an APC local government conference, Mr. Shettima urged the northern voters to reject Mr. Abubakar at the February 25 polls because he fought against the Islamic legal system in the north. This person you call your own says you shouldn't call him Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, but rather Atiku Abubakar. Mr. Shettima told his audience in the Hausa language, your person says he is the only person that fights against Sharia in the north. Is that your person? The APC vice presidential candidate remarks is his latest attempt to whip off ethno-religious rhetoric against the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate. People's Gazette had recently reported how Mr. Shettima at Emir Palace in Daura, Katsina, publicly challenged Mr. Abubakar to come out and mention 8 people he has mentored in the north, or the capital project he executed in the north, while he served as Nigeria's vice president between 1999 and 2007. So Mr. Shettima told his audience that Mr. Abubakar's presidency would not serve the North's ethno-religious interest. Can you imagine? So this is what Shettima is saying in the North. So that means that there is plan. They have a grand plan. These people have a grand plan. Okay? We understand how they were trying to bring Sharia into Nigeria. And this one they're saying is supposed to be in the northern region. I doubt it. They will want to spread it across Nigeria because there are certain Islamic things that we have in our constitution that sometimes even though they call it Nigerian constitution, but I wonder what is happening. Okay, in the north today they have some of the Sharia activities going on, especially in Kano, Katsina, and Kaduna areas. So now the plan is to spread the Sharia further. For Shettima to come out and accuse Atiku of fighting against Sharia, it means that there's plan to put Sharia in the north and they put it all over the country. Now they want to put Emir in all the states in Nigeria. Is that not establishing a caliphate across Nigeria? Is that not telling us that they own the whole Nigeria? That is what they want to prove. So thank God all these things are being revealed now. Nigerians need to be smart and shut them down early enough. Don't vote PDP, don't vote APC. Because it's the same Atiku that Shettima is blaming for Sharia. The same Atiku went to Kaduna and told them that the Hausas don't need a Yoruba president or Igbo president, that they should vote for him, he is their own. That was the statement Atiku made in Kaduna last year, 2022. Now, Shettima is coming out now to talk about Sharia. So obviously, the Islamization and Fulanization agenda is there. They haven't dropped it, and they want to achieve it at all costs. They want to prove they own Nigeria. and I'm sure they have worse things to go on. So this tells me again that for Atiku to win, we're not going to trust him. He's going to do the unthinkable. Okay, for Shettima and Tinubu to win, that is even about the worst right now, because what they want to do is to establish Sharia everywhere. Right now, they have Sharia courts in the north. Okay, they have Sharia courts in the north. There are some Islamic cases they don't take to a Nigerian court. They will treat it in their own Sharia court. Meanwhile, we'll have a constitution. Meanwhile, we'll have one judiciary system as the third arm of government. Okay, so only again, like I said earlier, only God knows the kind of agreement they have signed with Tinubu for them to support him to become Nigerian president. If Tinubu wins this election, it's as good as the Northerners and the Fulanis in power. That I am sure of. The way I look at Shettima, he will so be desperate to push Tinubu aside and take over the government. The state house will be made of more of northern cabal than the southern counterparts. I am sure of that. So now that Shettima has come up now with Sharia issue against Atiku, it means that one of the grand plan or agenda is to institute Sharia across all the northern Nigeria, afterwards spread it to the rest of Nigeria. And this is what Otom has been saying. Governor Otom of Benue State has been saying this for the past 4 years. That look, don't trust these people. They want to Fulanize Nigeria. They want to Islamize Nigeria. There's a grand plan. He released a lot of publications of secret meetings that the Northerners, the Hausas, and the Fulanis have had on how they are going to Fulanize and Islamize Nigeria. But people seem not to believe Otom. Okay, but we see them happening. Okay, look at what is happening now. They are coming to install the emir of Aba in Abia State. Where does that happen? The Seriki of Fulanis or Seriki of Hausas, that is different from saying you want to put the emir of Aba. Have we had the Obi of Sokoto or the Oba of Boronu? You can never have that. They can never let it happen. So some myopic Nigerians are saying there is the same thing. We have the Ezendigbo in the north. Ezendigbo, but not Eze of Kaduna, not Eze of Kano or Sokoto, not Eze of Boronu. That is the truth. That is what you need to understand. There's a big difference between Ezendigbo and the Emir of Aba. It means that he's the traditional ruler in charge of Aba. That is what it means. And the government will use their government instruments to establish him and give him certificate for that. And then that becomes a legal battle to unseat him. They don't understand. People are so myopic. Yeah? Because they go around and bribe themselves, and once they have seen brand envelope or any kind of incentive, they just sell their conscience. So this is what Shettima is planning. Okay, that if they win, obviously they are going to institute Sharia in the north as a legal system and across the length and breadth of Nigeria. That is the more reason that APC must not be voted in this forthcoming February 25 election. APC must not be voted because there's a grand plan to Islamize Nigeria, and it's coming to limelight. And Shettima can't hold it anymore. When you look at his face, so dreaded, so mean, that there is a plan that he must execute desperately for the Fulanis, and for, even though he said he's a Kanuri man, that is why they don't want, the Northerners don't want to support him. He has a Fulanization and Islamization agenda. You understand? So, which are in pari passu. Fulanization is having all the Fulanis everywhere in charge of everything in Nigeria. Islamization is turning Nigeria to an Islamic state. That won't happen. That won't happen. So that is what Shettima is saying, blaming Atiku for kicking against Sharia rule in Nigeria. This is a warning sign to everybody. We must take note of this and vote wisely come February 25, 2023 election. APC and PDP have red flags that should be really scrutinized before even looking at them for any vote. Nobody, nowhere meaning Nigeria at this time, should vote Atiku as a Fulani to take over from a Fulani in power. Nowhere meaning Nigeria should vote APC Tinubu that they have already shown that they have a plan to institute Sharia in Nigeria. So these two are red flags and has to be cautiously checked to make sure they don't institute themselves and take over Nigeria. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.